I get it. Hey everybody, I'm Tom Vasel and welcome to Live Q&A. It is the 20th of February 2018. This is a hallmark of sorts because this is the first time I've done one of these Q&As where I'm streaming it live through YouTube and Twitch. Yeah, that's right. You probably didn't even notice. There's probably no one even watching on the Twitch side of things. And I'm not even going to be looking at the Twitch comments. So if you are watching this on Twitch, I'm not responding to comments there yet. We're going to work on a way so I can look at the comments from Twitch and from YouTube, although we're going to have to figure out how to do that. But one of their goals for our Kickstarter this year was that we were going to start streaming on Twitch. So I figured, why not test it out? Why did a live Q&A? So I will be taking a look at the different comments here. If you want to run over to Twitch, our channel is The Dice Tower there because someone else already owns Dice Tower. So don't go there. The Dice Tower at Twitch, and you're going to see how this is streaming there, or if it's even working, I don't even know. But I'm going to be taking a look at the comments and questions on YouTube. So if you are over on Twitch and someone asks and say, why isn't he responding? You can say, that's why. Okay, so we'll get started here with some questions. I won't answer all questions like I always say, but I will answer a lot of them probably. Let's see here. The wall looks great. Well, maybe we'll take a quick, brief break here, and I'll show you the wall in all of its glory. So I'll go behind the camera here, and we'll zoom out. That's really not in all of its glory, but there it is. And there's going to be more at it later as time goes by, so just keep that in mind. I think that's what I'm trying to go for. There. I'm back. Okay. Let's see here. Seems like every Q&A someone asks if something or other offends you. Why do you think people are so fascinated by this? Does someone feel that way? Does someone act that way? I haven't noticed those questions. Okay. Otter says, love the graffiti art. Good one. Thank you. I'm glad. I also quite like it a lot. Why do people want you to use Twitch? Well, probably because they use it. You know, just because you don't use something doesn't mean other people don't use it. And I will, at this point in time, for streaming purposes, Twitch is still way ahead of YouTube. We use YouTube, but Twitch has way more. YouTube is slowly catching up to Twitch, but it's still a distant second when it comes to streaming things live. What's the graffiti right behind the chair? This is the Jack Vasel Fund Memorial Fund logo. So I had that put on the wall, and if you don't know what that is, you can go to jackvasel.org and find out more there. Let's see here. Harry Potter Kickstarter. I like this. Knight's Model finally announced the Harry Potter Kickstarter after almost a year of silence since the 2016 initial announcement. Is it reasonable to want an explanation from them about the delay? Does it matter? Who cares? There was a delay. Now it's coming out. Be glad. There's lots of delays of things that cause games. I don't think people have to tell you every single problem. Have you planned out the board game conventions you're going to? Sure. We're going to be going one at the end of this week up to Recon at the Miami University in Ohio. We're also going to a game cafe. Let me see if I can find the name of that game cafe real quickly so I can tell you which one we're going to. It's going to be Thursday night, which is just a few nights from now. Let's see if I can find it here in my email. Blah-bitty blue, blah blue. Oh, that's weird. There we go. And the cafe is Cardboard Crowns. All right, this is in Dayton. So we're going to head up there. I would imagine we'll get there in the evening sometime. All right, so we will be there and try to play games with people if they're there. So that's Cardboard Crowns in Dayton, Ohio. Okay, so let's see. Back to the questions. No Eric dice on the wall? Well, Eric has one up on the wall, but we don't have all the dice. In fact, there's new dice characters coming. So you can see Eric's feet right here anyway. But there's going to be some more on this wall here and more later on. So more will be coming. What's my favorite month? December, I guess. I like Christmas. December's a pretty good month. There isn't a delay on Twitch. There's not? I don't know. Like if you show them side by side, I mean, is it like streaming straight up as I'm saying this? Well, here's how we can check. If you're watching on Twitch, it is currently 2:06. Let's see here. Have I ever watched Star Wars Rebels? I have not. Where did you get the coins from in your unboxing video? Oh, I don't remember. I'm gonna be showing them off in one of my board game breakfasts soon, so I'll show you where they come from at that point. I haven't really looked at them much. Tom, I need advice. I'm gonna be assisting at a meeting for game libraries where I help there. I'd like to have your point of view. What do you think about the importance of board games for people? I could talk for like 6 hours on that. Just, oh man, that's way too open of a question. That's like saying, is exercise important? Yes. Board games are important too. Yes, for many, many, many reasons. Let's see here. I'm gonna have to quick jump over here and I believe I need to do the band hammer thing. There we go. All right. Oh, by the way, I should mention this. I think I'm going to have to like put this up in every single thing. I'm probably not going to answer when is this review coming, why haven't I reviewed this yet, because we're just going to get to stuff when we get to them. I do a lot of reviews every week. This week I'm doing 10 reviews coming out this week, but there are hundreds and hundreds of games that I cannot and haven't got to yet. There's a huge variety of reasons, so will I review something soon? Sure. Have I reviewed it yet? You can check. What do I think about this game? When the review comes out, you'll know. That's like a standard disclaimer I should probably put at the beginning of everything. Let's see here. Are you a fan of magic tricks? I love magic tricks. I love illusion. I love watching magicians. I like Fool Us with Penn and Teller. I really enjoy that show a lot. I mean, I think it's a little bit drawn out at parts, but I really like the show itself. I like watching them and then trying to fool these two really good magicians, and I just like magic tricks. Is Chaz gone forever? Well, I think he's been gone for like a total of, 24 hours. He said he's taking a break. I hope he comes back at some point, but I mean, it's only been a bit. Would you ever consider a Dice Tower studio tour as a future stretch goal? Like you come down here and go through our studio? Or that we make a walkthrough of it? Because we've already done that. That was a couple weeks ago, so you can see that. It was 2:06 when I said that on Twitch. Huh, maybe there is no delay on Twitch. That's really weird. Yeah. We're so used to a 40-second delay, and we don't know how to handle when there is no delay. So if you're watching on Twitch, you're seeing this earlier. So if something is really good, you can watch it on Twitch, then quick jump over to YouTube and watch it again. And if it's really bad and you see it on Twitch, there's no real good reason for that. I don't know what to say. Or you can watch on YouTube, and if I start getting boring, you can jump to Twitch, and I've already skipped that story. What's your best cure for a cold? Plenty of sleep, plenty of water, and Thermoflu, or Theraflu, or whatever that nasty stuff is, but it works. Have you ever designed a game? I have. Let's see here. What did I have for lunch today? Just some noodles. That's it. What game from Plan B did you see at the headquarters you're most excited about? Probably Reef, actually. I really liked Reef. It was a pretty interesting game. And, I mean, Coinbra was pretty nice, too. I mean, I liked all the games. I honestly didn't see any game that I did not like. But Reef, I was just pretty pumped about. I liked the simplicity and the fun of that game. No, that was not Z. That was Derek. Hi from Halifax. Come back if you want to have a donaire. Oh, I love to have a donaire. However, I think Halicon is at the same time as Essen, and I cannot skip Essen to go to another convention. Sorry. Let's see here. Have you tried the fans version of Time Stories? Someone sent me one time and I looked at it and everything. It was very nice and everything for them to put that together. I thought they gave it to me at a convention. But not really. I'm very on shaky edge with Time Stories right now. This is maybe spoilers of my review today of Estrella Drive. The system is wearing on me, and the best parts of it, which were the puzzles, I love the puzzles, I'm getting that from escape room games. So that's why Time Stories is dropping from me. We'll have to wait and see where it ends up right now. Well, hopefully this new pirate one is really good. Is there the possibility to get Q&As as podcasts too? Sure. Just go to dicetoweraudio.com and we post them there. My favorite Time Stories expansion, you know, it's still Prophecy of Dragons. What's my favorite book in the Bible? Luke. What rating does a game have to make your shelf? It doesn't really, it isn't really a rating per se. It is simply just how much do I want to keep the game. So if my kids really like it, it might make the shelf, even if I don't rate it as highly. Other than that, there is no specific rating. Is there room on the shelf? No. Is it better than one of the games on my shelf? It's the same size? Yes. I keep it, get rid of the old one. That's how it works. Am I a fan of the Marvel Universe films? Of course. Have I seen Black Panther? I have. You can set up delay on Twitch too. No, we don't want delay. Well, I mean, I guess delay is good sometimes, maybe. Not really. Delay is only good if you control the delay. So like, for example, if this wall behind me fell on top of me and we were delayed, we might be able to cut that out before you saw it. Delay is used for a lot of people like for cursing, you know, because it's on a delay. But the fact is, for us, delay is usually bad because someone would be like, there's no sound. And we're like, what? No sound? For 40 seconds, there's been no sound with a delay. So, who's your most competitive friend from the Dice Tower? Jason is easily the most competitive person we know. Just watch your new Time Stories review. Do you think they have an overarching story planned out, or do you procrastinate because they don't know what to do yet? So you're asking, are they pulling the same nonsense the folks who did Lost pulled? I don't know. I think that, honestly, they're just giving the stories to the different people who are writing them, and they're not really trying to make them fit in the overall thing. An actual in-person tour. Come down, meet the guys, check out the studio. I suppose I could do that. Let's see here. Wait, this is on Twitch? It is on Twitch. But like I said, okay, I'm getting this table. I gotta figure out how not to stick my legs. There, maybe there. I'm gonna be slightly off center, but that's okay. There we go. What is a donaire? It's like it's that meat that like the Turkish kind of meat where they strip it off the things in the thing, and they're putting that with other. I don't know how to explain it. Look it up. It's delicious. Well, let's see. What are your thoughts on app-driven board games? Does it miss the point of playing board games? I don't think so, because I'm really not sure what you consider to be the point of a board game. I thought the point of a board game was to have fun with other people. That seems to be the point of a board game. So if you're like, well, an app makes the board game slightly less of a board game. Oh, okay. I mean, who's putting these arbitrary rules into place anyway? I think using apps to enhance board games is fun. Do you have a favorite flavor for ice cream? Well, ordinary flavors, it's cookie dough. Other than that, there's all kinds of weird flavors I like. What game had the most satisfying component drop? Twilight Imperium 3rd edition. No, did I do 4th edition? Did I do a component drop for that? I don't remember if I did or not, but I did one for 3rd. Least satisfying? Well, sometimes I drop it, I'm like, that was dumb. But what can I do? What's my favorite quick thing for lunch? Salad? Salads are pretty quick. I mean, if they're already pre-made. Oh, let's see here. That Miami Dice was pretty brutal from all three of you. Yeah, I don't know what it is. Sam, I think, liked it the best. It just wasn't that exciting of a scenario for us. I don't know. I've noticed that other board game YouTube channels that have half the subscribers of Dice Tower get twice the amount of thumbs up and views. Sure. I don't really know what that means. Other board game YouTube channels get twice the amount of thumbs up and views? Sure. What channels? I don't know what channels you're talking about. Maybe they do. What's your monthly comic stack like, Tom? Well, since I use Marvel Unlimited, I'm just looking at a lot of stuff on Marvel, right? So I just read whatever interests me. So what I do with Marvel Unlimited is I look at all the new comics, and Marvel Unlimited adds ones every Monday. Now remember, Marvel Unlimited 6 months behind what's actually out there. So I'll look and I'll say, oh, that's an interesting comic, I'll read that. But instead of reading just that comic, I'll go back to the beginning of that comic and read all the way up to that point. And then, so sometimes I'll continue reading, but I usually like let them sit in stacks of 5 or 6 and then just read a whole pile of comics at one time, because it makes a much more satisfying story and I'm not stuck with cliffhangers. So I've been reading the one where Captain America takes over America with Hydra. I've been enjoying that. Secret Empire, I believe it's called. And so I've been reading that and a lot of the spin-offs of that. Did Melody fly solo for a top 100, or did you sit in to criticize, I mean support? Of course, I was there. But so was Jason. Melody and Jason did their top 100s together. You'll have to wait and see. Why Luke over the other Gospels? What makes Luke better than the other 3? I just like the speed of Luke. I also like that Luke leads directly into Acts. But I mean, it's not that huge a thing. I like them all. But Luke is, each Gospel focuses on a different thing. And Luke kind of focuses on people. It's very people-oriented, so I like that. Do I own more games than hats? Yes. As a prominent reviewer, you definitely influence the industry. What's the one thing you've influenced that makes you the most proud? I don't know how much influence I have over the industry. I'd be very cautious to say anything like that. But I think that I've helped. I'm proud that a lot of people have got into gaming because of the Dice Tower. I like that. I'm proud that a lot of people have their own YouTube channels and review shows, and because they came from the Dice Tower, so I'm thankful for that. But I mean, I'd be very cautious to say that I'm influencing the industry. Any chance you could do a Q&A in the evening once in a while? Doing them always during the day makes it very difficult for those that want to ask questions who work. Yeah, sure, but there's more people who watch during the day. So that's why I normally do them during the day. Also, there's a few Europeans who are still awake at this point. Yeah, sure, I can do them in the evening, but I don't feel like coming back here in the evening to the studio, so I'd have to do them from home and they're not as good. Besides, we do Dice Tower tonight in the evenings. So you can just watch that. That's coming up tomorrow, Wednesday. Every Dice Tower tonight, me and Eric, we do some things. We banter back and forth, but there's always a bit of a Q&A. So there's your chance to ask a question. Is that wall behind you attached firmly, or is it possible that it might fall on you? It's not going to fall. What was it like when you first started your board game collection? I don't know. I enjoyed having a collection. It was neat. And I would say, Mom, can I get some more games? And she would say yes sometimes, and I would add them to my board game collection. What would Eric have to do to get you to watch a full game of curling with him? No, I don't think it would be that hard for him to get me to do that. I watch curling on TV. I think it's an interesting game. I make fun of him about it, but I would watch it. What's your Twitch handle? It's The Dice Tower. TheDiceTower. What game has replaced Kemet in your opinion? I didn't say a game replaced Kemet. Is that shelf on wonky or is the camera drunk? I'm going to go with the camera being drunk, and not to mention that you're watching a you're looking at this from a different angle than you might normally see it. No, Donor in Germany is different than the ones in Halifax, okay? I want to be very, very clear that I'm talking about two different things. I know what they are in Germany. That's not what I'm talking about. It was something different in Halifax. Myself, many people consider you the face of board game. How does that make you feel? Well, I don't think you should think of me as the face of board gaming. I just like to talk about games. I don't ever proclaim any kind of mantle upon myself that things that I say should be the way they are. That's not the whole point of it. I guess I'm the face of the Dice Tower. I'm okay with that. But there's lots of people who are great at games. A designer should be the face of board gaming. Have you ever thought about setting up a board game workshop to teach people how to create a game? That'd be kind of presumptuous of me, I suppose. I mean, we give things that we think should be in games and things that shouldn't be in game. I don't know that I could teach someone how to design a game. I've only designed 2 published games, anyhow. Have you tried Tabasco ice cream? I would not, probably. I probably would, actually, but I wouldn't, like, hunt it down. Will you be doing a video tour or update videos of your experience while at the Geek and Sun camp this year? Sure, yeah, I'll probably do like a blog of what I see there. What's the most cash that you would spend on a board game? Not too much. I usually don't carry much cash on me. Credit cards is where I'm at, usually. You seem to have more fun with your videos in the old days. Do you ever miss them? I think that's kind of a misnomer, right? People always like, oh, you had more fun back in the day. What? I have fun now. I just recorded a whole pile of videos of Melody and Jason yesterday. It was really fun. I think people have this supposition sometimes that small is good, big is bad. Not to mention we're not big anyway, right? We're very small. There's like 5 people here, and it's what do we got? A couple thousand square feet. That's it. We're not this huge production company. And people are like, oh, you're so big now. No, we're not. Do I used to have more fun? I've always had fun doing videos. So I don't know. Do I miss the old days? Sometimes I guess I miss the old days because I didn't have any kind of schedule to keep. But no, I still like doing videos. Do you plan on doing a best of designers for Wolfgang Kramer and Michael Kiesling? Sure, I'm going to do one for both of them. I saw the new version of Aeon's End in your to-be reviewed pile a couple weeks back. Are we getting another full-fledged review on it? Probably. What video game was the most satisfying to complete? Ooh, that's a good one. Probably, I was very satisfied to complete Final Fantasy VII because I think that I completed pretty much everything in it, including both of the optional bosses. Whoop them. Well, though, you have to work to whoop both of them. So I think that would be the most satisfying one. It was also satisfying beating Final Fantasy Tactics. And so many games, though, like Skyrim. Have I ever beaten Skyrim? I don't think I have. Legend of Zelda. I beat it, and it was satisfying to beat it, but then I instantly wanted to go back and play it some more. So I don't know. The most satisfying to complete a game. What's the most debts you've ever seen someone take on in Le Havre? Someone took 12 debts in a game that this person did. Yeah, I saw someone take on a pile of debts too one time. It was sometimes just steamrolls a really bad game, and it could be difficult. I would almost want to restart the game if that ever happens to me again. Do you play Pandemic with each player's cards hidden? Yeah, you can. I guess you're supposed to do that on medium level. We always play with them open, or at least I always do. Would Untold Stories not be fun with adults? It might work with adults, but it's really geared towards kids, I think. Have you ever read any John Grisham? Yeah, I've read a lot of his stuff. Let's see here. I don't know anything about the AEG pledge levels for Edge of Darkness. Sorry, I haven't looked at it at all. I did play Edge of Darkness slightly at Gen Con 2017, but I'm not a really good person to ask because I fell asleep during the game, which is not an indication of the game at all. I was just really tired. Jason Melody kept waking me up and laughing because I was just so tired. And I was like, okay, we're card crafting, and I'm falling asleep. and there's cubes, and I'm falling asleep. It looked cool. Sounds cool. It probably is cool. What was the comic you were most disappointed in? You were looking forward to it, and it fell completely flat. I don't know. There's been a lot of comics that I've been disappointed with, but then I usually just jump out. I don't get too upset. I just go to another comic. I don't know that I can think of one. What's my favorite non-superhero comic? Bone? Do you like cheese? Am I breathing? Does Jason's board game collection creep you out? No. Is it coming after me? How did they explain Captain America working with Hydra? Is it a what-if sort of thing? No. The way they're explaining it is Captain America has gone into... He was in this... Marie Hill, if you know her from the Marvel Universe, she was using a cosmic cube. Somehow a cosmic cube gained sentience. It was a little girl. And she was using this little girl to reshape reality and put all these criminals into this happy little 1950s style town where they all were friends and all neighbors, but they didn't know anything about each other. Of course, that didn't last very long. They all broke out and there was a big fight. Captain America got deadly injured, and Hydra used this little girl, manipulated her, to heal Captain America, but also to go back in time and make it as if he had been recruited by Hydra as a child and has basically been a sleeper agent up to this point. Okay, that's all well and good. That's interesting. Now, in recent comics, and again, remember I'm 6 months behind, they are indicating that perhaps he always was a Hydra agent, and America used the cosmic cube to change it so that he wasn't way back in the day. And now he was just been awakened. I hope that's not the case because I don't like the idea of him being bad for always. I don't like that idea, but I do like the idea maybe that they went back and changed it as long as they can fix it. Because while Captain America being bad is really interesting, he's kicking all the other heroes' butts. It's also, I like Captain America. I don't want to see him be a bad guy. So that's kind of a bummer. I think you might be the only person I heard of that actually likes Secret Empire. It's been pretty universally panned. Well, all right. Well, I guess I liked it. I guess I like it because I assume that they're going to fix everything. So, if Dice had a mascot, not Dice, who would it be? It would be a pawn. I don't know. Dice are our mascot, man. I like Dice. Who are my top 5 comic writers? Well, I got to be honest here with you guys. I really don't know. Because I don't really keep track of who writes the different comics. I probably should pay attention to that more often, but I just haven't noticed the writers of comics very often. Are you going to review Heaven and Ale? Probably. I've definitely played it, and I can review it. I just haven't even thought about it. Well, Sam's played it too. Maybe we'll do a Miami Dice on it. Wouldn't playing an app version of a game be similar to playing a solo game? No. That's not what we're saying. We're saying that there's apps that enhance games. We're not saying that the app is the game. Yeah, you can play an app game, but you can also play it with other people too. When is the next top 10 list? It's already been 10 days. We can't do top 10 list every week. Our goal is to put one out every 2 weeks. However, in January, I was like, hey, we got some extra time in January, February. Let's put out one every week. So we put out one every week for a while. So last week we didn't do one because I went to Canada. And, yeah, so there was that. And then this week we're going up to Ohio, so you're probably not going to see one this week. You'll probably see one the week after that. But we have Jason and Melody's Top 100 coming out this week, and you're going to see the entire thing this week. There's 10 videos. Each video is 20 to 30 minutes long. So just keep an eye out for that. Are you running any events at MeepleCon this year? I'm doing Wits and Wagers. That's all I know of. I'll probably just be playing games other than that. Oh, I'm 10 minutes behind on here? Ooh, I better hurry up here. Who's my favorite X-Men villain? Mr. Sinister. Who would win in a fight, Mojo or Mojo Jojo? Oh, probably Mojo. That'd be a pretty funny fight, though, actually. Have you tried the Munchkin CCG? I have, but not enough where I can give any kind of reasonable thing. I actually had a review of Munchkin CCG scheduled for tomorrow, but I need to play it some more before I decide what I think of it. Take of that what you will, positive or negative. So I'm hoping that you'll see the full review of it next week. Since you're originally from Allentown, Pennsylvania, do you recall the Drums Corps International shows at J. Bernie Crum Stadium? No, I don't know that I've ever went to saw those, so sorry. I heard the rights for Thunder Road are very hard for restoration games to acquire. Why it has been printed since the 80s, has it? Well, first of all, I don't know if they're hunting that one down at all, so I'm not going to speak to that. But I will speak to that. Getting the rights to games are very tricky things. It's very difficult to get the rights to games because there's a lot of people involved, and sometimes records weren't kept properly, so you're not quite sure who has the rights. There's just a lot of stuff involved. What is Chief Sokotoa's favorite sport? Didn't I answer that one last week? I think I answered what his favorite board game was. His favorite sport is Mushflaf. Mushflaf is a game where you are essentially cooking an entire dish, but at the same time, you need to stop the opponent from getting this small orange ball into a trash can. Well, it looks like a trash can. It's not. It's actually from milk. But you're going to get the orange ball into this trash can behind you and not let anyone on your staff die. The meal itself has to be rated by a series of judges, including the very, very famous Chef Rafla. I think he's been doing it for years, probably 800 or so. So they have to rate it a 10, which is pretty hard in itself. But you've got to be doing this while blocking the ball and keeping everyone in your team alive. It's a pretty tough sport, but it's really popular and it's really fun to watch. I've not participated because I don't have the skills, and he won't let me either. So he says I'm not very good at it. Oh, okay, whatever. When is shuffleboard going to be an Olympic sport? You wonder, right? It should be, right? Guys, he just proclaimed himself as the face of board gaming. I did no such thing. I am saying I'm not the face of board gaming. So don't ever say that I'm saying that, because I'm not. Tom doing a top 10 Stefan Feld game was like a blue blood Texan doing a top 10 vegan foods. Nah, first of all, that's a garbage statement, because there's a lot of good Felds that I mentioned. I put Bruges on my list. You can say Bruges is bad. If a Texan doesn't like vegan foods, he wouldn't even know what vegan foods to talk about. I definitely can talk about Feld, but I also brought in Jason to talk about Feld games I missed, and he thought of 5, which is why there was 5 of them. Have some Cincinnati chili when you come to Ohio in a few days. Hey, if I could pull it off, I will, because I really do like Cincinnati chili. But I would probably want some good ones. I was on both streams, says Seth, for a bit. Don't cross the streams? Sure. European football or American football, they're two very different sports. I probably like European better, I guess. What do you think of Tiny Epic Quest and item meeples in general? How do you feel about a game component being patented? Well, I'm not a fan of game components being patented, but at the same time, I don't think it's a big deal because I don't think anyone else was planning to steal this idea anyway. And it is a little ironic that a company that is patenting an item is doing so in a game where they are clearly copying and mimicking the IP of Legends of Zelda. That seems a little odd to me. But anyway, I like them. I like the little item meeples. I like putting one thing. I thought it was a really cool idea. So they copyrighted it. Whatever. If we missed your Kickstarter, are there other ways to support Dice Tower? Well, just email me at dicetower@gmail.com, and when our Pledge Manager goes out, we'll let you know. Kenny's working on the Pledge Manager right now. We're hoping to get that out this week. What's your favorite Hostess snack? Ho-Hos, I think. I think that's Hostess, right? Do you like snowballs? Not really. How active are you on a Dice Tower Facebook group? I've seen a few contributors, but not you yet. I don't know. I post in a few threads here and there. I'm about as active on Facebook Dice Tower as I'm active anywhere. I just keep an eye on everything. I watch the threads. There's a lot going on. But I'll tell you this, folks. I want to be active in social media to some degree. But at the same time, people always say, how do you have so much time? How do you get so much done? Because I'm not posting all the time on social media. Social media is great, right? There's a lot of cool things about social media. But social media is also a humongous time sink. And if you're like, how do you get so much stuff done? Well, I'm just not in social media all the time. I'm posting reviews and stuff instead. Could you ever see yourself retiring and becoming a designer instead of doing board game media? Nah, I wouldn't like that. What do you think a fair price would be to get a full painted set of Rising Sun? I don't know. And it depends on who the painter is. Tom, what decides which reviewers can use approved and excellent symbols on their reviews? No, it's just by the number. Approved is 7 and higher. Excellent is 8.5 and higher. Do you think Rising Sun is Eric Lang's best game? Well, we'll find out soon enough, right? When I do my best of Eric Lang list. That's coming soon. Maybe not soon, but it will be coming. Do you think small games are being overshadowed by the great presentation and components of bigger games? Well, yeah, that's probably true, but it's always been that way for as long as I've known board games. Have you thought about doing a crossover with other YouTubers? Yeah, we might do that at some point. Are you happy with the name Dice Tower? I love the name Dice Tower. It is one of my favorite names. Is higher production values and cost better for the bigger publisher or smaller publishers? I think it's better for everyone. My weakness is to complete every side quest in any video game. Oh, I know. Those side quests get you so caught up. You're like, I'm going to save the world, but first I must rescue this rabbit. And you're always hoping that at the end of some side quest you'll get something that makes it amazing. And it's really the truth, right? Like in any Final Fantasy game, whenever I get to the end and fight the final boss, it's like, hey, come here, guy. And he's dead. Because I've already beaten the other stuff so much harder and gone on these exotic side quests. Now, I didn't like Final Fantasy X. I like the game a lot, actually. I like Final Fantasy X. But to get like the ultimate weapon for each character, you have to do really ridiculous things like play dodge lightning a gazillion times to get one of the weapons. It's just really stupid stuff. I was really annoyed by it. But for the most part, I like side quests. Oh, excuse me. Tom, you enjoy reading. What would you recommend for my 10-year-old kid who doesn't enjoy reading at all but is into Marvel movies and all that jazz? I apologize. I don't know. I give my kids lots of books to read. I'll say, this is a good book. You should read it. But they're usually just classic books, you know, that I read when I was a kid. I'd be like, oh, man, you need to read this. It's a great book. But I don't have any specifics. Everyone's different at that age. I would ask someone who's really like smart about books over me. Do you plan on reviewing any more expansions of Roman Bone's Second Tide? If I get some, maybe I'll review some, but that game doesn't seem to be really like getting a lot of buzz lately. I do have some more reviews coming of expansions. Maybe I'll be doing a Dice. I'll be doing a Dice Masters one this week, and I think in the coming weeks I'll be taking a look at the new Eldritch Horror and a new Legendary expansion. When are you going to be at the Board Game Cafe in Dayton, Ohio? I am going to be there on Thursday, probably at 5 after, and it is Cardboard Crowns that we're going to. So we're going to be going straight from the airport to this game cafe. We'll have a good time there, hang out and play games with people there, and then go back and head over to where the Miami University. Which game would you have loved to design yourself? I think Catan, because it's made the most money. I don't know. I don't like sit there and be like, I'm jealous of their success. I'll take the money, I guess, for designing a game, but I'm glad a lot of people have designed games. Will Days of Wonder bring out a new big box adventure this year? They're always quiet about this. Perhaps you can enlighten us. Well, first of all, if I knew something and they haven't announced it, I wouldn't tell you anyway. But I don't know anything, so it doesn't matter. Or do I? I don't really. No, but I mean, really, I'm not going to... Days of Wonder is not going to allow me to announce a game on my Q&A here. It's just not going to happen. Did they do a big box game this year? No, they didn't. They did one last year. They might do one this year. Have you seen the movie Game Night? I have not. On a recent Q&A, you said you like happy music. How do you feel about ska music? I think ska is usually on the happy side of things, right? Yeah, so I like that. What do you think of Alan Moore's comics? Well, they're slightly depressing sometimes, but they're very well written. Games Workshop announced 2 new board games this week, like Shadespire. What's your opinion about this new direction from Games Workshop? Oh, I'm looking forward to it. I don't see why. I just wish that they would not make me have to assemble all these stuff in these games. But I think for Games Workshop, no matter what they do with these board games, it still is kind of the slow. They're still always pushing people to go and get the miniatures because that's where their bread and butter is. So that's fine. I'm glad they're doing these board games, but I'm not like getting super excited about them. But hey, maybe they'll be great. I don't know. Let's see. Will we get a full review of Thunderstone Quest? Sure, when I get it. I don't have it yet. Blue cheese or ranch for buffalo wings? And there's only one correct answer. Well, I don't really care for buffalo wings that much. I can use either equally. I'm happy with both of them. But buffalo wings for me are okay. I hardly ever eat them. I feel like they're big and they're messy and it's a lot of work. And I like to eat food that's not so much work. Tom, have you read much from Neil Gaiman? No, I read a couple of his books. Hang on, let me do a quick search on this because I don't want to mess this up, and I always forget what he wrote. So Neil Gaiman, an English author. What did I read from him? There was one book that I was pretty interested in reading. I read American Gods because it was a TV series. So I thought, I haven't seen a TV series, so I thought I would go read the thing. It was okay. It was just very weird. I'm still not sure what the book was about. And I guess that's kind of how he is. I read one that was kind of like Alice in Wonderland, but for the life of me, I cannot remember what the name of that one was called. Where a guy went underneath the earth and found all these things. Oh, what was that book called? So I'm looking here. These are his books. I haven't read that, haven't read that, haven't read that. He wrote a lot of comics, obviously. All right, there we go. Oh, he wrote Coraline? What do you know? I read one of these books. I'm not sure which one it is. Was it Neverwhere? No, I don't know what it was. Okay, well, anyway, I read American Gods. And I've read one other one, but I don't remember which one it is. I'm wasting too much time on this, guys. I apologize. I read something of his that I liked. But, anywho. Boy, some people ask the same questions every week, and I don't answer them every week, but they keep asking them, so there's that. Bryan Cranston set to play Mr. Sinister? Well, that'd be interesting, but I'm just kind of waiting here to see if we're going to see the X-Men brought into the Marvel Cinematic Universe, because that would be amazing, because the Marvel Cinematic Universe has not misstepped yet. So, no one's asked this, but I'm going to answer it anyway. Black Panther. So I went to Black Panther, and I didn't know what to expect. The hype was super high, right? But I'm you know, whatever. So I went and I really, really liked it. I think it's in my top 5 of all the Marvel movies so far. I think it easily has some of the best villains of any Marvel thing. I mean, Michael B. Jordan is a great actor anyway. I love him and stuff. But he's a great villain, a villain you sympathize with to some degree. And another villain who's just hilarious, Andy Serkis' character. And then just, man, to take my girls to go see a movie where the main character, Black Panther, he's pretty cool, but all the women who work with him are cooler and more powerful and pretty awesome. Yeah, I mean, if Thanos shows up, just send the Wakandians to get him. Top 10s are my highlights of the week. I knew that 1 video per week ratio is too good to be true. We got to realize there's a lot of work to do. I'd love to put one out every week. It's just not possible. But again, I think that the Jason and Melody and me thing will appease you because they were a lot of fun for us to put together. Jello marshmallows, yes or no? I kind of like Jello by itself. I'm kind of a Jello purist. You want tickets to the Moosh Flap finals? Yeah, they'd be fun to go to, but they only take place every 6 years. But they're amazing. But yeah, you can't get tickets because it's so complex. You would have to be able to transwarp into another dimension and go to the Narsvadian universe. And it takes a long time to get a passport. Just forget it. But maybe NBC will pick them up someday. I want a Chief Sokotoa movie? No, he would not be in a movie. It would be like unrealistic. They would show him, you know, he'd have all these muscles and he'd be perfect and debonair, and they would change everything, and he would never ever consent to that. Why did you start the Dice Tower? For fun. Chief Sokotoa's life sounds like it was named by the Android Netrunner people. No, the Android Netrunner names never make any sense. They just like pick weird names. No, the places that we've been to are very, you know, I mean, obviously places are going to have different names. Like on Earth we have Argentina and there's China. And then if you go to, you know, the planet, then there's Vlu and Gij. I actually like them because they're such short names. Could you get as big of a haul on games from every big board game con as the one you get from Essen? No, the one from Essen is the most because the most games are released at Essen. How much would you guesstimate it would cost to get all the factions in Summoner Wars? I have no idea. And the best available decks to start with. Why is Smash It better than Pixel Tactics? Have I said that? I don't know. I like them both a lot. My favorite sets to start with is I'd get the Master set. Find the first Master set. There's 2 of them. The first one is better. With the 6 factions inside, those are good factions to start with. Ho-Hos are the best, Mr. Jeeves, but they're best when they're frozen. Name one candy that represents the USA. Does any candy represent the USA? I don't know that that's true. M&M's? Who knows? Let's see here. Do you think that Steve Jackson's failure of Port Royal was due to the new box art? Well, now that you mention it, yes, I do. I'm really surprised. I mean, also, I don't know that it was their target audience, right? They're making a game that wasn't really like many of the other Steve Jackson games. It's a great game. I love it. But the new box art just didn't do it any justice at all, especially since the cards inside were essentially the same as the other ones. And there's already so many of the other ones in existence, along with expansions and stuff for Port Royal. So I think there was probably a lot of factors in the thing, but it just wasn't going to be as good as Munchkin anyway for them. So it's unfortunate, but I really like Port Royal. Which Final Fantasy was it that has a card game? 8. Are you getting enough sleep? Probably not. The other day, what did I have? A few hours? That's when I flew back from Canada. Very little sleep. But then I slept the whole pile the next night. I don't think I ever get enough sleep, but I can't. Like, I was really tired a few days ago, and so I went to bed at 8:30. My wife said, "You're crazy." I said, "I'm really tired." So I went to bed at 8:30, and I got up at 2:30. It was 6 hours later. I just do. but I got a lot of work done. But you were a lightning dodger. Well, great. I couldn't do it. I couldn't do something like I tried it and I got up to 30 where I could dodge and then I got hit and I was like, I am not going to sit here and dodge this lightning 200 times and make a mistake around 187 and then have to start over again. No, 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 no. Yeah, no, I almost got killed a couple days ago. I was driving to go gaming somewhere, and a guy cut right in front of me. And I was going like 60, 70 miles an hour. So I jerked because, I mean, I would have hit him had I not done it. And then I just lost traction. I felt like I was on ice. I wasn't because we live in Florida. But I just spun around in circles and went off the highway. Fortunately, no car hit me, and there was no guardrail on the side of the highway. It was a hill, but I stopped halfway down a hill. And then I just sat there for a while and thought about, hey, I'm alive. Thank God for keeping me alive. And then a truck and a car both stopped, and they got out and helped me push the car back up, and there was no damage to the car, and everything seems fine. The guy who cut me off didn't stop, but maybe he's having a hard time sleeping, because for all he knows, I died, right? But that was interesting. I was super wide awake then. Why did I even say that? I don't know, but that really did happen. Do you like Century Eastern Wonders? Oh, sure. Yeah, I really liked it. Get a copy of Thunderstone yet? Content coming? No, and, well, when I get it, yes. As the hobby grows, should the industry cater to heavy gamers and churn out games like Gloomhaven, or try to reach out to newbies with games like Century and King Domino? I never understand questions like that. Why is this an either or? Why can't the hobby do both? There's games for everyone. This is something I've been thinking about, right? I'm not a huge fan of Munchkin, for example. But there's a place for it. There's a lot of people who really, really like it. So why would we not be glad that people are making that for them? Now, if every game company made games for the same demographic, fine, but that does not happen even remotely. You like heavy war games? Someone's making them. You like heavy Euro games? Someone's making them. You like mixed games? You like light games? You like miniature games? You like dungeon crawls? You like whatever you like? Somebody's making it. Let's see here. Is that a dice tower behind you? You mean a tower of dice? Yes. Ooh. Ooh. Ticket to Ride hasn't overtaken Catan even with all the expansions. No, Catan is still the #1 selling game of the Euro game crowd. I think it's still even ahead of Carcassonne and things like that. Yamate was Days of Wonder's last game, yes. Would you consider franchising the name Dice Tower for board game cafes and shops? I'd consider it, but I would need to have a whole lot of influence on how that board game cafe and shop was run, because I've said a lot of things about game cafes and shops, so I would have to, you know, I don't know that I would do it, but I would certainly listen to a pitch. Do I have a lawn? Yes. Will Unknown get a Best of Designers video? Maybe. That would be an interesting thing to do, though, right? That might be fun. We'll see. I'm going to do all the ones that do have ones first. Do you ever want to visit Poland? I'm going to be coming to Poland this year. Let's see here. Thoughts on Dulosaur Island? You mean it's just a two-player version of the Dinosaur Island game? That sounds interesting. Do you think Marvel should fold in the X-Men movies as is or reboot the series like Spider-Man? I think they should reboot it. It's unfortunate because they have some good actors playing some of those characters, but for the most part, I think they should reboot it with the exception of Hugh Jackman and somehow bring him in. Have you read any Valerian comics? No, I don't think I have. Captain America says Charleston Chew is America's candy bar. I doubt it. Let's see. Is Dice Tower my full-time job? It is. I love the Valerian movie, says HalloX30. Me too. I really like that movie. If I had 3 wishes, one would be for Munchkin not to exist. Well, that's like an awful thing. Why would you? No. Even if I had 1,000 wishes, I wouldn't wish for that. It's a game that's making people happy. What kind of jerk would want to take that away from other people? Ooh, I hope not. I'm interested in a new Matt Leacock game? Oh, of course I am. Sure. I like stuff like that. How long will you keep doing, let's see, how excited are you to get Boston rice candy? I don't think I'm excited for it. Am I caught up on questions, or did I just jump ahead, or what? I don't know what happened there. All right. How often do companies label their games on the box? No. Here's what you say. GameX is an abstract game where you blah, 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 blah. That might help in the game store stopper. No, most people aren't going to do that. Anyone who cares about those labels is going to do research. Otherwise, people are just looking for a picture or a demo of the game. Why do name designers first? I'm confused by that question. Who would you love to do a best of designers for, but they don't have enough games released yet? Oh, I don't know. I'd have to go back and count the ones that I was like, oh man, there's a few people. But again, that just meant they had like 4 games or something. The video of Jason's game collection was great. Any chance of having a weekly series featuring Jason spending a bit more time talking about his collection? Yes. I've been on him to work on that, and he's going to. What's your favorite Overpower team to play, and did you ever collect Overpower when they added the 4th ability trait? I did. Intelligence, that was a good one. Back in the day, my favorite team, until I realized that it was like the team was, I think, was Hulk, Thing, Namor, and whoever the other 8 strength person was. But I liked running a strength team. But so I just liked playing people in general. I wanted to do an intelligence one, but one of the biggest problems that they did when they add Marvel Overpower uses these power cards, and you use them in energy, strength, and fighting. And the problem that the game had was you got these in starter kits. So I would get a starter set of fighting and stuff, and the 8s which were used were really rare and hard to get. But you could get, I think you could get a strength 8 in one of the starter decks. I forget how it worked, but it doesn't matter. The fact was these were hard to get, but there was a lot of packs out there. When they added the intelligence trait, you had to buy these booster packs. There was no starter deck with the intelligence power cards. So finding intelligence power cards, period, was a pain. Even now with my Overpower stuff, I think I have some Overpower cards. I don't have very many intelligence ones. Just there wasn't that many of them. It was just a dumb thing. I don't know why I'm even talking about that anymore. Okay. Let's see. They need that Patrick Stewart as Professor X? Yeah, maybe. Let's see. I'll answer a couple more questions and I'll end here. Will I be doing a Best of Designer series for Tom Vasel? Yeah, I'd be like number 1, number 2, number 3. When I got to number 10, I'd be like, I guess he made some game called Nothing Personal. And that would be the end of the video. It'd be really boring. What IP would you like to see as a Dice Master set? G.I. Joe. What Marvel character would you love to see in a movie we have yet to see? I'd like to see a Marvel movie. Well, I mean, I'm assuming we're excluding all the X-Men because I'd like to see a lot of them redone. I would like to see a Marvel movie about the new Warriors, Speedball and Justice. I really like them a lot. I would like to see a Marvel movie. Quasar. I like to see a really good Marvel movie about the Fantastic Four. Would really like to see that one. I guess they're making a TV series, a Cloak and Dagger. I would have loved to see a movie based on that too. And that, I believe, is that. Thanks so much for watching. Thanks to those of you who kind of checked out the Twitch feed and see, and that worked. We'll be doing more and more streaming on Twitch as time goes by. Give us some time, give us months as we work on that, get that together and make it better. And pretty soon we'll be doing a lot of stuff on Twitch. But if we do stuff on Twitch, we're not leaving YouTube behind. We'll still do stuff on YouTube. Anyway, until next time, I'm Tom Vasel. You've been watching Live Q&A on the Dice Tower. See you next time. And all the dice are here for the tower stacking. All right, the orange and red team is going to go for highest height first. So they all come up here onto the shelf. They're bringing some of their pink friends with them. All right, they're going to go for a height. Okay, the rules for this are you may only have 30 dice. So that's 10, 15, 20, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. Here's your 30 dice. Well, red is going to go conservative. They're going to start with a base of 6 and then build a base of 5 on top of that. And then on top of that, a base of 3 and then 2 and then 2. And now they're going to go high with the 1s. Well, there they go, sir. So far, they're on a 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th level. As each die climbs higher, the crowd is very intrigued by this, but they're a little bored because of how safe they're playing it. Although, ooh, that was a little iffy there. They almost fell. The crowd is quiet. Ha 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 ha! They've fallen. They have 2 falls that they can do, and after that, they will be ejected. So they're going to rearrange, and they're going to basically hurry because time is running out. This is a timed challenge. So now they're going to go 2 and go higher. Not quite so good this time. All right, so we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. They have to hold it for 5 seconds. Okay, that's good enough. All right, 12. The yellow-green team is now coming onto the field. The yellow-green team has never won, mostly because they are constantly trying to just break a world record. No one understands why they try such things. It's idiotic. All right, the yellow-green team, let's make sure we have enough players here. 5 and 10 and 15 and 20 and 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, and 30. They don't even build a base, folks. They always just try to go straight up. No one has ever done 30 dice, not in this district. It's been rumored that it's been done in other places, but those, it's just a rumor. They're up to 6. No one's even watching. The crowd's so bored. That's their first fall. People are just looking at them, yawning. That's how boring this is. Because they know they're going to fall. You're not spectacular, but the green team has spirit. They've insisted that they can make a stack of 30 dice. I'm not sure where they're getting that from, because the other side had 12. So right now, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. They're not even as high as the other team here, but maybe the 12. All right, excellent. 13. I mean, did they realize that they have 17 more dice to go after this? They're out. All right. You know what? Just get out of our face. We don't want to talk to yellow and green dice. All right, white and tannish dice. So that's 1, 2. So we got 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. All right. Now they have to beat 12, so they're going to start with a more conservative. They're going to do something that's not been tried before, and that's just to make 2s all the way up. That will get them to level 15 if they can make the top. So the crowd is a little surprised by this because this has not been tried before. And in fact, there's a few people who are saying this probably will not work because there's nothing really bringing these together, and the force of having them on their sides doesn't seem like it would work. And so the commentary here is not so as exciting as you might think because we're literally just talking about raising dice. All right. All right, well, we're up to 12. They just tied. 13. 14. Woo! They're now going to be cheeky and try for 15 and 16, hoping What? And the crowd goes wild. No one has ever expected them to do this well here. All right, so white and tan is going to win, but now we would like to participate. No, you cannot participate. You're too big. They just killed a judge. No. Now there's a mob here. You guys are too big. 1, 2, 3. Ha 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 ha. We'll bring in 30 and we'll go higher. Now this is bad, but there was a die who was a hero. His name was Little Red Die. And he was there to do things that no one ever expected to do. And what he did next was unbelievable. He stood there. The giants all faced him, and they prepared for the showdown. What's going to happen next?